You can say the sun is shining if you really want to. I can see the moon and it seems so clear. You can take a road that takes you to the stars. Now I can take a road that'll see me through. I can take a road that'll see me through.
Well, I suppose we should get all the facts and numbers out of the way before we go into music and beautiful pictures and nature. And mansions. We're going to have a lot of mansions. Lake Pickwick is one of the 4 lakes that the Tennessee Valley Authority created to manage the flow of water and power and basically the flow of supplies through this region. The dam here, the lock will raise you 63 feet in 40 minutes, and there is no cost to any of these locks to go through. When they made this particular lake, there was people who lived here, and 506 families actually had to move, and that included farms, businesses. They had to remove all the infrastructure, like the roads, although not all the roads are removed. You can actually see them underneath. And power lines and train track, all that stuff. Bridges that were here had to be removed because they had to be put higher than 54 feet or 52 feet. The name itself comes from Charles Dickens, and the average price of a household here, is $1.5 million. There's all these little docks hidden everywhere where like a couple of houses come together and put a dock in down at the bottom of the cliff. Yeah, I don't know that I've seen a more beautiful lake, you guys. I'm thinking hard about it. I'll come back to it. But I am pretty sure the mix of mansions dappled through the cliff sides on 40% of the lake, and then 60% of the lake being national forest, and the autumn colors, the cliffs, these little nooks everywhere where you can kind of go in and see where a whole nother neighborhood is. I don't know that I've ever seen a more beautiful place. This is stunning. I'm staying here for a few days, at least. We've come to the end of the neighborhood. River, get down. Come on, man. You're going to fall in, buddy. He thinks I'm trying to go to land. That's why he's doing that. Alright, so I gave up on counting. But just in this little area, it's more than 25 mansions in this little inlet. And every little inlet on this lake, when you look on the map, is that way. And not one of these I haven't seen one house at all anywhere on this lake that I would consider not a mansion. Every one of them is 3-story. Most of them are 3 stories tall, but some of them are only 2 stories. I mean, this is probably the smallest house here. Look at that. This place has to be an inn. It can't even be there's no way this is a house. It's got to be an inn. This is just awesome. We called this place Happy Hippie Foods. He's going to come pick me up and take me to the store. So we're going to get provisions. Right, River? Got a lot of stuff. Very quickly. And what's your name?
Brian Riley, owner of Happy Hippie Food Delivery here in Pickwick, Lake Tennessee.
There you go. After Brian dropped me off, I actually went to the restaurant again and got a carry-out order. So I got some Cajun chicken pasta and fried pickles. River didn't get anything. He's been naughty. He ate like 3 bags of treats when I left him in the boat. It's the first time in like 12 days, I think, that I left him in the boat by himself. He was pretty mad. So the fish you are seeing jumping is called skipjack. There's a houseboat on Cuba Landing called skipjack. And they're like a bait fish. So you would catch them and go catch big fish with them. So I just got interviewed for a local newspaper while I was hanging out with Brian the hippie. He went and called the town reporter, a reporter from the town paper, small town. Reporter spiel. What's the paper?
I'm being recorded?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mary Grotsky, I'm a local realtor with Garlic Realtors, and I work for the Tishomingo County Write-In.
And next thing you know, I'm being interviewed on my boat. Like, actual reporter asking me questions and writing down my answers. It's super, super awesome. I like that because when people do that and I talk, I realize it makes you realize how special the things that I'm doing are and how rare they are. And it makes me look back, step out of my real life, my day-to-day life, and appreciate it a little more. It's really cool. Without a doubt, this is the nicest state park marina I've ever seen. I don't know how it could get nicer. I mean, there's yachts here, like yachts. And then, of course, the houseboat, the normal houseboats, the normal stuff under the roof. I mean, look at this. $1.25 per foot to stay as a transient. If you stay for a week, they normally throw in a day, so you pay for 6 days. A couple different things I've been noticing is not every dock has power run to it. So some of the boats that are just speed boats and wave runners don't have outlets. And then the ones that do have boats have outlets. So I don't know, that might be something that you pay for. This is very different. And every marina I've been in down south is like this. See, the wind was pushing me in this boat. And you want to just gun it, but that's the stupid thing to do. So I didn't do it. I thought about it. The boats here stick out. Not like a little bit. So, and they do on the dock too. So if that boat was pulled in forward, that anchor would stick onto the dock a lot too. Essentially, if your boat's sticking, this is the way the rules work. If your boat's sticking out and someone hits your boat, it's your fault. If your boat's inside the dock area and someone hits your boat, it's the other person's fault. It's like putting an obstruction in the waterway. The other part is if someone's walking down the dock and they walk into your anchor. That's where it really hurts. Where people actually just have a medical bill right out the gate for you. You know what I mean? Yeah. I remember 2 years ago, we were all watching this guy, brand new boat owner, way too windy for him to go out, but he was gung-ho. He had people on board. Man, he got pushed into the side of the docks and just went boom, 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 and hit every damn boat all the way down. Ugh. He was next to a buddy of mine, and that guy never felt comfortable about him being there the whole time. It happens. Yeah, you see how a lot of them have sunshades. They pretty much make the dock their cabin. Instead of having a cabin somewhere on a lake, they have their boat. This old Chris Craft. Yeah. Even that old, it's probably 20 grand. It's just the engines are worth 7 grand a piece. Now, they have everything from kayaks to canoes to high-end Bentley pontoon boats to rent. So anything you want to do to spend your day on the water. Plus, check out these showers. Even though these look like storage buildings for boats, which they probably are, the left side over here is the bathroom, the shower. Yes. The other thing is, even though it's a single bathroom, there's 2 showers, so it's kind of family style. So you could bring a kid in here. Just basically, yeah. And of course the washing machines are relatively new and kept perfectly clean. $2 to wash, $1 to start the dryer, and it only runs for 20 minutes, but because I talked to people and I got the inside scoop on things. I found out that that one will run for 99 minutes on $1. That's what the dude said. That's what my buddy said. $99 minutes. I don't know if yep, 99 minutes, colors. Cotton whites, there we go. Back in an hour and 39 minutes. Now, the other way to go is just park your nice boat here and rent an entire cabin for your stay while you're here, if you want the high-end version. It's pretty much two completely different sides of this lake. One is the state park and the nature with it, and the other side is just, I don't know the best way to describe it. It's just the, I mean, there's no, I don't know if there's any better way to put it. It's the wealthiest lake I've ever seen, that I've ever been on. And I've been on some lakes where you're like, oh, these houses are beautiful. No. This lake, I haven't seen one bad house. Like, and I looked online. Average house price is 1.5 million. And I guarantee there's some that are so much higher than that. What's really cool is the parts that are accessible, like the forest and what have you, not the cliffside. The forest part's all park. And there's 2 miles of beaches on the lake, you know, public beaches. But on the other side of it, there are mansions hanging off of cliffs, way up on the sides of the cliffs, and they all have their own, like, walk down piers that are just tucked away in these little nooks. It's just the most beautiful, it's the best little boat ride I've been on in a long time. Where you're like, look at that, no, look at that, no, look at that, over and over and over. So what we've got here is a trailhead, and up here is some signs. Now I parked the boat not that far back. Look how beautiful this is. Sometimes I feel like I'm cheating the system, like completely cheating the system, and I don't know if people just don't understand what's going on, or if the math just doesn't work out that they care. I don't understand, but essentially I'm on this beautiful lake and I'm staying with my boat completely plugged in and all of my, everything as part of my rent there. And it's $1.25 per foot, which with my 30-foot boat is $37.50 per night. To rent a campsite here with like power hookups, not even like a sewage or RV, but just like a power hookup and a water line, is $38. So it's cheaper for me to park my boat in that gorgeous marina than it is to just be out in the middle of the woods with a piece of dirt to rent. And then you have the amenities of the resort. Like if I want to go to the restaurant, I call and a truck comes and picks me up and takes me where I want to go. When I walk in there for like, if they're handing out stuff for continental breakfast or what have you, if there's something for the people at the park that's part of them staying in their rooms, you get access to it. So I could go into the pool. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. But I'm not paying any real amount of money. This right here is a beech tree. And one of the problems with its really like smooth surfaces is people like to carve on it because you can really easily leave your name and stuff on it. But the reason I know that is because it says it right here.
Simple as my mama said when I was very young. She told me not to worry, son, one day you'll be someone. But here I am at 21, loaded as a stagecoach shotgun. I'm sorry, mama, please don't look at me.
Tree fell on the sign. This probably told what that tree was, too. That's kind of funny. It's ironic, I mean, and funny. All right, so we are coming up to the lookout here. And this kind of also shows what I was talking about the houses here. River, no! Oh, right down the cliff, okay? All right, I guess we're going. Okay. Oh, he needed water. Yeah, he's a smart dog. So, yeah, look at these houses. And I'm going to do close-ups on all of them because I like just driving around this lake and looking at them. But they look like resorts, but then when you drive by them, they are actual private residents. Yeah. And then half the lake is this state forest. So it's just beautiful trees. And whenever there's a huge cliff, they got a mansion on top of it. It's basically the place here. Hey, River, do you think he can get back up here? He's got his leash on too. Hey, he's rolling. Bad dog, man. Come on, dude. River, bad dog. Get up here. You, like, it can't go one day without you smelling, dude. Come on, let's go, you nasty little shit. Get up here. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Dude, give me your leash. There's something wrong with him. He's like Pepe the Pooh. He likes to smell. He likes to smell. Problem is, we live in a little boat and kind of gets overwhelming sometimes, dude. Sometimes, man. All right, we got the naughty, stinky dog on a leash because he does not know better. I gotta stop saying and so are two words I wish I could get rid of in my vocabulary. So this is the second lookout. It's talking about the dam here. It was made 1933. Roosevelt. I've been at Roosevelt Dam in Arizona, and that place is awesome for houseboats. I lived in the desert there for like 90 days. Okay, so to make this dam, they had to move 506 families. They had to move cemeteries, utility lines, obviously. Roadways, although they didn't move them all, you can actually see some of them underneath the road. Farms, all before they flooded it. But they didn't flood away the snakes. So here is the ever-present warning of poisonous snakes. There are 4 types here. 2 rattlesnakes and copperhead and cottonmouth. The last episode I actually ran into 2 episodes ago. I ran into a cottonmouth and thought it was a water snake, but didn't go anywhere near it, so it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what your dog gets bitten by or what you get bitten by. The anti-venom is the same for all pit vipers, and all the snakes here are pit vipers. So you don't need to really know what snake you're bitten by, but it's nice to know. If you look real close, Jamie's up there hanging out at the bar. I'm gonna find out what kind of ducks these are because they're everywhere here. We're gonna hang out and have a few drinks, get some food. It took him 1.5 hours to drive here from Cuba Landing. And I think, what, 4, 5 days of driving to get here? It's not fair. So close, no matter how far. Couldn't be much more from the heart. Forever trusting who we are. And nothing else matters. Never open myself this way. I desire to live it up. All these words don't just say. And nothing else matters. Yes, I see and I find in you. Every day for us something new. So now that we're done with the hike and River's all kind of pooped out. Actually, he was just laying down, but he just got up to smell some stuff. I kind of usually just come and sit down on the boat here. and work on my, editing. Like right now, I'm about to put up a short about no-see-ums. I, I'm from Wisconsin. I heard when I watched YouTube videos of people sailing around the world, I heard what no-see-ums were, but I didn't realize the extent of how they can ruin your day. It's unbelievable. When they show up, the day's over. We're just gonna go down this aisle and point out the free sailboats you could have for less than $1. The guy said he doesn't even need $1 to give them to you. He'll give them to you for free. Doesn't matter. Just wants them off his marina. They're forgotten. Nobody's coming for free boat. It's pretty easy to tell because all the sails are shredded. That. Shredded sails. Free boat. Let's check. This is not a free boat. That's just waiting one more season to go the next year around because they didn't have enough time to make it all the way down. That's a nice boat. It's just not being clean. Free boat coming up here too. The red one. Free boat. So, oh, the one next to it too. So 6 on this side of the dock alone. Boat has a fold-up rudder and fold-up keel, so you can actually pull it right up on the beach. Hunter 26. I'm going to take off in the morning. It might be a rainy day tomorrow, so I may stay one more day. Essentially, it's pretty hard to leave such a beautiful lake. I've never been to some parks that are this high end, ever. I've never really kept my boat somewhere where it's this high end and such nice luxury, I guess is the best way to describe it. The woods are amazing. Driving around the lake is amazing. The amenities here are amazing. The different restaurants are awesome. The stores are great. It's a perfect spot. However, everyone tells me that it just gets better. The next lake is going to be prettier. So, gotta keep going. During the day, these 2 boats came in. Strangely, they had every single problem that I had coming from Green Turtle. Here, they had a starter go out, they had a fuel sputter. Yeah, they have had the same exact problems as me coming from Green Turtle with fuel issues and their starter going out. They waited at Green Turtle and got a new starter, which I'm gonna have to do in the next... I'll just do that before that becomes a problem. They are headed to Aquamarine and they're gonna leave their boat for a week to have... They have 3 fuel cells. 2 of them are not pumping, so they're gonna have 2 of them worked on. Look the motor over completely, just to make sure they're safe traveling. These guys are gonna go to Demopolis and then they're gonna leave their boat till next season. So they're not making the trip all in one season. If you're gonna do the loop and you don't have enough time to do it, where you're trying to knock it out in like 6 months, or basically you're gonna drive every single day, park at night and drive every single day, my suggestion is break it up into several years. Go spend 4 months doing it and then park your boat for a year and come back a year later and start it again. I talk to a lot of people who say, I've done the loop. I've done the loop. I actually know some people who have gone from Wisconsin all the way down to Florida on this whole process. And when I ask them, have you seen this lake? Have you seen this lake? Did you go here? They're clueless. No, they just drive straight down. It's like same thing as being on a highway. They never stop or never get off the channel or do anything fun or use their dinghy to go explore or anything. I don't think that it's a bad trip to do the way they're doing, but you are missing out on the majority of the trip just by staying in your boat and driving down the main. You guys have met Scott and Sue several times. They were my neighbors in Milwaukee, and then they moved to Tennessee, and they're the reason why I came to visit Tennessee, and then basically bought a off-grid property here. So they were my inspiration for just saying fuck it and getting rid of all my properties and jumping in the boat and going. They would tell me this story when they were younger, that essentially they sold they didn't own a house at the time, so they sold everything that was huge to them, like cars and stuff. They bought a place to store their personal belongings and they stuck their personal belongings in, and then they took their savings and just went to like Europe in Italy and traveled until they ran out of money, and then came back and rented a place and started a new job, you know. And I don't know that I would have ever thought of doing something like that in my, like, the world doesn't teach you to do that. The world teaches you get your job, take your vacation, go back to work. It doesn't teach you to ever have a gap in time where you're not working. And they were the first people to actually tell me about that and see it, and make me think about, well, I'm just going to not work for a year or 2 years and see how it is after that. So I think that there's something to be said about that. Why would you wait until you're 70 years old or 65 years old to stop working for a time frame? I think every 5 or 10 years, you should take a year off. In your 20s, you should take a year off and travel by yourself to see who you are and who you really are without having people as compromising in your life. You know, you don't really know who you are unless you're alone making decisions. As soon as you get in a group of people, you're actually compromising somewhat in some way, in every decision. So you're not really seeing who you are. When you're in your 20s, even early 30s, take a year off, travel. And then when you hit your 40s, take a year off with your family and travel around the country and see the country. I think more people should be doing that. And that, honestly, I feel like jobs and the whole process society should just be okay with that. It shouldn't be that, you know, you go in for an interview, where you go in for an interview and they say, what is this block of time that's on that you're missing a job? They should just assume, oh, well, that's some time that you took to yourself because you're a human being. Not everyone needs to report to a job from age 18 until 65 every day, Monday through Friday. Not everyone should do that. And I think, sorry, I have such a, the air around here is just congested me. In the last 2 weeks, I've been completely congested, so I'm mouth breathing, and I apologize. Yeah, but I really think that if any one of my friends came up to me and said, I'm gonna take a year off and just figure out who I am, or just do this and that, not even have a plan, I would tell them no. I'd say that's the best thing you could do in your life. And I think that society frowns on it, doesn't talk about it, and doesn't like it. And I don't want to go into detail about like how the world works or how capitalism works or anything, but I think that you should just take a step back and not have any agendas or any reason to do something the next day other than want. Like, spend some time just doing what you want for a year out of every decade of your life, you know? And then at the end of the year, at the end of your life, I promise you, when you're sitting in your grave or you're on your deathbed, you're not going to say to yourself, man, I should have worked more. You won't say that. You'll say, I should have traveled more, I should have seen more, I should have done more, other than what people tell me to do every day, 9 to 5. So, yeah. I'm done with that. I won't bring that stuff up anymore, but it made me think about that when I was being interviewed, and I haven't gotten it out of my head. The difference between how I'm not running off of a schedule and everybody else that I've seen is. So it's kind of an eye-opener.